Hello and welcome to this second Holy Week reflection. I spoke a couple of days ago about Mark chapter 11 and 12 and looked at it in two ways, that responses to Jesus were either one of fear or one of amazement, and just challenging us to think afresh in these times of how we respond to Jesus. Today we move on to Mark 12 and 13, and really the watchwords there are be alert and watch your lives. And that comes out in all sorts of different ways, how we actually live our lives, but are we paying attention to how we live our lives, and what things kind of lead us to a place of peace and lead us closer to God, and what things may take us away from that. A few years ago now, for my birthday, my mum and dad presented me with a photo album, and it was a great gift, and it's filled with photos of my childhood through teenage years, into when I was a student, and then beyond when I spent some time as a missionary, and then marriage, and then photos when the children were young. And it's just a great resource for me to look back through, and it contains so many memories. But it's also a bit of a shock as I read through or look through this thing, because I can see how I've changed physically over the years. And certainly those pictures where I'm a lot thinner, or my hair's got no grey, or I'm not wearing glasses, all sorts of things and indications. And I just look at those and think, so when did those changes happen? And they happened so very, very gradually that from one day to the next, you can't really tell any change. And yet, as years pass, you can then look and say, yes, I am different physically. But I'm also different mentally, spiritually, and hopefully emotionally too. I've grown to maturity, but all of those things happen in the small details, moment by moment and day by day. We don't notice, we don't make big decisions to change. And that's what we see in Mark 12 and 13. There are stories there of choices, stories of humility. The widow's mite appears there, the woman who had so very little and yet gave all she had because of a simple trust in God. And Jesus contrasts that with the religious leaders of the day. There are many stories of humility, there are stories of trust. And in this Holy Week, that's a good thing for us to remember. To be alert, to watch our lives, to make those moment by moment decisions that will actually cause us to grow, cause us to draw close to God and to receive from His grace and His blessings. So may you be blessed today. May you make wise choices, and may you draw close to God